Like a lot of you, I have a lot of scrap wood. The question is, what do you do with it? You throw it away, you keep it for years to come whenever you need that 1 6-inch 2x4 that may be able to help out 10 years down the road. Well, if you stick around and find out what I do with them, you may be able to make quite a bit of money. The scrap wood that I'm using is the offcuts to my cedar planters. If you want to take a look at those cedar planters and see how I build them, that is in my last video. The Scrabble letters I use are 4 inches by 4 inches, so I just set the fence on my table saw to 4 inches, and then I cut these boards down, and it makes perfect squares, and these are what I use to start the Scrabble letter process. So once you have the 4-inch by 4-inch piece of wood, all I do is lay it out on an old piece of plywood. If you do 2 coats of white spray paint, it leaves a nice weathered look. You can still see the wood pattern, the grain underneath the paint. And then if you want to go a little further and do 3 coats, it gives it a more white finished look. You can hardly see the wood grain. So how I price these, if it is a blank piece of wood, I only charge $2 a letter. If it is the whitewashed 2 coats, I charge $2.50 a letter. And then if it is the 3 coat, more finished, solid white look, I charge $3 a letter. And it's all just based on time. It just takes me more time to do 3 coats, less time to do 2 coats, and then no time to do no coats. So that is why I price it the way I do. It is now time to actually paint the letters. So how I do this, I put the stencil on. It fits perfectly on the piece of wood. And then I got these clamps from Lowe's. It's a 14 pack for like $16. And then I put one on each corner like this. And that way whenever I spray the spray paint, the stencil stays in place and it doesn't fly off the piece of wood. Black spray paint I use is the same as the white spray paint. It's just the $2.50 option at Lowe's. I feel like it doesn't really matter what kind of spray paint you use. Some may last longer, some may spray a little thicker. But all in all, it's a black and white spray paint. I think it's going to leave a pretty similar finish no matter which kind you use. One of the more expensive parts of this project that really may not be necessary is this Polyrylic Spray. I got it from Lowe's for $15. And it doesn't feel like I've used a lot, and I've sprayed all the letters that you've seen in this video. And so it might be worthwhile. I am curious to see how long it is going to last. On a side note, you can actually use these as coasters as well. I can see a lot of people in their home, with the last name Smith or something, getting a set of coasters that have S on it, or if they want to spell out family or something, they would get, the coasters that spelled out family. But if I was to do coasters, I would probably round the edges. I would put a layer of polyurethane over these so that way it would stay waterproof. I feel like you could get away with a more weathered, rustic look for wall art. But when it comes to coasters, I feel like people would want a more finished look. And so that's what I would do if I did decide to make these into coasters. So after you finish the letters, it is now time to figure out how you want to hang the letters. One option I do is I put this little eye hook in the top, and that way you can hang it with a little nail. Another option I do is I use one of those picture frame hanging like jagged tooth things. I'll put a picture on the screen. Or another option is you can use command strips. I feel like a lot of people may choose that option so they don't have to put a lot of nails in the wall, because if you decide to do nails, you pretty much have to do a nail per letter. And a lot of people don't want to put 20 nails in their wall. So command strips may be the way to go. But honestly, guys, that's pretty much it. I've made 25 letters in about an hour. The starting cost for this is about $50. That's because these stencils, I think, were like $10. These clamps were, $16. This was about $15, and then these were $5. And we're using scrap wood, so that's free. And so I made all these letters, and I might have used half of this, maybe 3/4 of this. I used probably 3/4 of this, and I barely used any of this. What I would do is I would go ahead and put these on Marketplace or Etsy or any kind of online store that might sell crafts, and I would probably sell them for $2 or $3 a letter. Like I said, I would sell these for $2. the whitewashed ones for $2.50, and then the solid white ones for $3. And the upfront cost for everything, stencils, clamps, paints, all that, is about $50. You're not paying anything for wood if you have scrap wood laying around, and so that cost doesn't really eat into the profits. And so after everything, once you get going, you can probably make $40 to $50 an hour easily. I would just take some good pictures, show them what they could have in their home, and then people will just order them. So I hope this short video helped you out. I hope it gave you an idea of what is possible with your scrap wood. Don't throw it away. Make some Scrabble letters, make some money. Hope you have a good day.